I'm about to
Yeah,
share it
we
on my
live.
page. Then don't
Right.
talk.
I'm not. I'm putting. I gotta start Instagram live separately. I hate that I gotta do that, but hold on. Wait for that stuff. All right, we good on
I hate that I gotta do that,
Instagram.
but
All right,
I hate that I gotta do that, but
where it is? Let's get a countdown. Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Mikey T, and you're now tuned into another episode of the Blitz featuring Mikey T and Marquise, man. Let me get y'all a clap very quick. And y'all know we go live every Thursday on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So, man, y'all catch us on all those streaming platforms. You know, every show that we do is sponsored by W, man. Go get that energy drink. Use the promo code Smoke Session, man. And I'm gonna go pass it out to my man Bibby so he can give us a rundown of what happened
man,
throughout the NFL this week, man.
man, how y'all doing this week, man? So we had all the top quarterbacks won this week. It wasn't really no major upsets. Uh, we had a team that's supposed to be a contender, but they looking more like a pretender, looking like they're gonna miss the playoffs. We did an NFC East edition last week, and we're gonna start off with the Dallas Cowboys getting blown out, 47-9. I mean, at this point, the Detroit Lions were out there throwing laterals to offensive linemen. Like they got just mad, disrespectful. Dak didn't have really I mean, he didn't do much of nothing. I mean, he was 17 to 33, 178 yards, two interceptions. It's like, I know they was getting, thrashed on their defense was getting thrashed from the running game from that double-headed monster with Montgomery 12 carries for 80 yards, two touchdowns, and Gibbs 12 carries for 63 yards. But still, like they still didn't score no points. So like that mean they got dominated on both sides of the ball. They had a
Sure.
big loss this year, as you know, as the last week. Aiden Hutchinson was my defensive player of the year, top of the list. Sorry to hear that he's done for the season,
All right,
which is going to be a
prayers up,
big,
man. Prayers up.
which is going to be a big blow for them. I'm kind of scared because Max Crosby basically just said he ain't got time for no rebuild. So trade
Bring
deadline,
them
he's
to the
going to be on his
Eagles.
way out of there. I would love him in Philly. I have to believe Dallas. I mean, Detroit's going to be making a push to get him. Uh, Hassan Reddick is open to trades with the Jets. He still hasn't getting a deal, and it's just like, I mean, with us, it's like if we get him, we have to give him a contract because he's standing on business with this holdout. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's
fact.
like,
Well, fact.
so
Well, we can't. Well, so according to the NFL, we're not allowed to. They're not allowed to trade Hassan Reddick back to us. According, if you trade a player, you can't trade them back to the same team after. You got to wait 2 years to trade them back to the same team. So we can't even go get Hassan Reddick. He would have to get. They would have to kick Hassan Reddick off that team, and we picked him up in free agency.
and that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Uh, then we had two rookie quarterbacks make their starting debut this week. They both lost. Both got blown out. Spencer Rattler, I mean, I would say he was playing pretty decently until, I mean, obviously the three interceptions helped New Orleans get back in the game when they were down 17-0. But he lost his top two targets in Shaheed and Chris Olave. Chris Olave went out with a concussion. He's not going to be playing tonight. Shaheed won't be playing tonight. Shaheed is done for the season. He has a 4 to 6 month recovery window. So, think if my point of emphasis on that is maybe that game does maybe New Orleans scores more points in the second half if they don't lose both those weapons. Tampa Bay ended up putting 51 points on them. But back to Drake May. Drake May made his start. He was 20 of 33, 243 yards, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions, 5 carries for 38 yards, but they still lost by 20 points, 41-21. But the good thing to look here is if you go look at all Jacoby Brissett games, he never threw over 155 yards. Drake May first great game, he throws 243. So, I mean, that alone, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but the touchdown he threw on the right side of the field that game, I mean, it was a beautiful throw. Like, it's definitely is a context of it's levels to this. So, Jacoby's a glorified backup, not a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, since he's been in the league. So
we know what Jacoby Brissett is at this point. He's a bridge quarterback.
Yeah, till you're ready to put your rookie in there. So we'll see if they improve offensively because they definitely. I mean, I still think Bill Belichick's there with Mac Jones. That's the way it's been looking so far this year. So,
thanks.
Devontae Adams is finally on the move. He's going to the Jets.
I wish I had like an airplane fucking drop.
Yeah, I mean. Right now, the Jets currently ranked 12th in passing, 10th in receiving, 21st in points. I think he should help out all these categories, especially points, because, I mean, you go back to that game, Garrett Wilson dropped the ball right in the end zone last game. And I got into some arguments with some people because, I am this is an Eagles show first. We're always going to revert back to the Eagles. I have been tearing Jalen Hurts down since last year because I expect better from him. He gave us this great season, and he has not got nowhere near the player that he was. Because the most important thing about that great season he had was about taking care of the football. That was the number one thing he did in that Super Bowl year. Jalen Hurts didn't turn the ball over. I mean, that Super Bowl, what he had? What he was 4 touchdowns, 1 interception? No, 4 touchdowns, 1 fumble, or 5 touchdowns, 1 fumble. It was something like that. Yeah, he had a fumble. He didn't have an interception. Yeah. But Jalen Hurts was very good at. So I was arguing with a guy more so this week because he was trying to say if this was Jalen Hurts that just played this game on Monday Night Football, everybody would turn him down. I'm like, Aaron Rodgers was great. If you go back and look at the game, them receivers had a lot of drops.
Well, I mean, let's not also skip the fact that I don't know what was going on with the wind out there, but the crazy missed field goals was ridiculous. I don't know what was going on with the field goals.
Yeah, I mean they missed 2 field goals.
Yeah, I mean if they'd just hit 2, I mean if they'd hit both of them, they'd have won that game.
Yeah, so, I mean and
it was just a weird game to be honest.
Buffalo missed the extra point as well in that game, but like I said, the Jets missed 2 field goals. Garrett Wilson dropped a touchdown. The play before Aaron Rodgers throws the interception to Mike Williams ran the wrong route, number 1. Number 2, Mike Williams slipped. Mike Williams still had a chance for that ball. Mike Williams doesn't slip. The DB never has a chance to get to the ball. Only thing DB can do is pass interference. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
The first down, he threw a play for first down. That was a nice chunk of change that would have been. The guy the safety from Buffalo, dislodged the ball. So like everybody wants to be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers played bad. I watched 3 or 4 throws that game Aaron Rodgers made, and I'm like, there's nobody in the league that can make that throw. Did you see the throw when he threw it behind? Like he threw it to Lazard down the middle, and it went through the defender's arm into Lazard.
Yeah.
No,
like I don't know how he got that pass there. That was an amazing pass. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit was
if that's not threatening the needle, like I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody says. I believe if Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, we wouldn't have lost the game yet this year. I believe really greatly under the notion. Maybe the Tampa Bay game because Devontae's out, AJ Brown is out.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Potentially that is the only game. Outside of that, I don't know, man. And then another one. This the other trade that happened this week that really breaks my soul because everybody knows I give Josh Allen his respect. I think he's the number 3 quarterback in the league today. But I do not like to see him win. If I like to see anybody lose, it's Josh Allen. I get deep satisfaction in this right here.
I,
You get
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
understand. I don't understand the hate.
Yeah, I'm not a Josh Allen guy. My Josh Allen hate comes from the disrespect that comes to my second favorite quarterback in the NFL. They diss my guy so bad and then prop him, and this guy can't do no bad. That's where my hate really comes from. It comes from
Well,
Lamar.
I mean, I get it, but Josh Allen is a better passer than Lamar. I mean,
No, he's not.
yes, he is. He's
We
definitely.
cannot say that this year. Did you just
I'm
see
not
that?
saying. I'm just. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying naturally. Uh, damn, who the fuck we were just talking about?
No,
Josh
we.
Allen is a better passer. I feel like I look at Lamar almost like Michael Vick, and I'm not saying necessarily like they're the same player, but I feel like Michael Vick's later years is when he became a way better passer than he was. I feel like Lamar, he was an okay passer, but I feel like now Lamar is a way better passer of the football than he was when he first came into the league, for sure.
I don't dispute that part. But if you go look at Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and you line them up the first year of their careers, they were kind of the same player. Lamar was just a little bit more athletically. Josh Allen game. They
Bro,
both.
that nigga had 1,000 yards.
Who?
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
His
yeah, yeah,
first,
yeah, yeah. No, but I'm talking about if you go back and look at Josh Allen first year before he gets Stephon Diggs, he was not. He just had a big arm. He had no control of it. He's been a turnover machine since he's been in the NFL. Lamar Jackson has never been known as a turnover machine.
well, that's because they run the ball more with Lamar Jackson than they threw,
Regardless of the fact, the man
especially
still
in them
had.
early years.
I think the man still has a 30 plus touchdown passing year.
Yeah, he has the 36. What he had 36 touchdowns that year. He had 1,000 yards rushing, 36 touchdowns passing, like 7, 8 interceptions, and then he might have also had like 11 touchdowns running.
Yeah, I mean he had a big year. But what I'm saying is, I deem when people talk about Lamar passing, I deem it more to the type of offense they running. They were running the Greg Roman offense, the same one Colin Kaepernick played in San Francisco, and I deemed it more coming from that. But to get up, we're getting off topic because this isn't.
But
We're not debating Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I'm just telling you where my hate comes from. It's just the disrespect that the world gives him, and they prop other guys up that haven't done, they haven't even done more than him yet. But every time it comes to him, it's like, oh, he can't win a playoff game. Last time I checked, Josh Allen ain't got too many playoff wins. So,
facts.
but this week the Philadelphia Eagles are traveling. We play the New York Giants this week, and I'm
We gotta
scared.
talk. We gotta talk about the Browns first.
What you want to talk about the Browns for before?
The Browns game. We played the Browns this week.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about the Browns. I'm sorry. I jumped ahead this week, and I'm gonna go first because my stuff is all negative. I'm gonna let you be. I'm gonna be the bad cop. You're gonna be the good cop because
Okay.
I'm disappointed in our win. Ultimately, I'm very happy with the win, and I was optimistic as if you've been following us this year. Week one, I told y'all I'm putting this season more on the line on Jalen. I'm changing my take. I'm going at it's Nick. At some point, man, when you when effort becomes a thing, when you're not putting us in the right position to play, you can't just blame the coordinators every time. Sometimes the head coach, that stuff falls in line with the head coach. Let's go back to the Tampa Bay game. When you're not coming up, if you got two straight drives where these guys are just throwing 3-second passes, 2-second passes, and they're throwing screens and slants, you got to tell your DBs come up and play defense. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
If the head coach can't see that, you don't belong being a head coach. I just wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed last week. Jalen had a game, did turn the ball over. Kudos to Jalen. But I'm not satisfied. What did he had? 16 completions last game? He was 15 to 25.
Might have been a little better than that, but let me just double check real quick because I just had it up. Hold on.
I got it. He was 16 to 25, 264, 2 TDs. I mean, I'm really not 14 carries for 33 yards. I mean, just that alone. I'm not impressed with our offense, man. Like Washington put up what 35, 40 points on Cleveland. I mean, the Giants rolled Cleveland. Dallas rolled Cleveland. I mean, everybody been beating up on Cleveland, and everybody wants to throw a party because we were in a one possession game against the Browns. I'm sorry, I'm not giving our defense any credit because they shouldn't have had 16 points. Like, I know they got a blocked field goal, which made this game look closer than what it actually was, but I'm sorry, this game was too close for my liking. I do like that we at least attempted to run the ball. Saquon had 18 carries. I think anytime he gets over 15 carries, I can go to sleep happy. Even though I don't understand how he went to halftime with 39 rushing yards and he ended the game with 48. That doesn't
Okay. All right. So let me get into mine. This game gave me a little bit more confidence in the team. And I'm not saying because, all right, first of all, let me just talk about the game. The game, first of all, back to the defense. Defense played an amazing game. That was a great game called by Vic Fangio. I love how now Vic Fangio is kind of understanding how to play Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff, I think he was looking at that Brian Baldinger video where he was kind of like telling the Eagles coaches like, this is how he plays. You putting him in the linebacker spot and wanting him to run from 2 is not working. And I feel like ever since he watched that video, he put Brian, Bryce Huff in a perfect position to play football. So now he's finally getting some stats on. So I want to say I do love the defense. The defense pretty much put out a shutout. I mean, other than them doing 40-yard field goals and Myles Garrett jumping over the offensive line, we're not going to talk about how the other defensive linemen were holding down the offensive line, so he could jump over. But whatever, he jumped over, blocked the field goal. They got a touchdown. That was their only touchdown of the day. Bravos to the defense. Offensively, we're still starting slow. Like I can't get emphasize that, but I see the growth though. Like I see it. We finally got a clean game from Jalen Hurts. Like that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest mental thing that we needed from Jalen Hurts. We needed you to play a clean game, and I feel like now it's a football season. It's all about. It ain't about starting hot. It's about how you finish. So right now we starting slow. It's cool. We just need to build off of what we built this week. A clean game, no turnovers. This week we going into the Giants. We're gonna talk more about that, but I'm give me a little bit more confidence. That's why I got my Eagles jersey on. You know, AJ back, man. So we can talk about the Giants, man. How you feeling about going into this Giants game, man?
I'm semi scared because I still don't have a lot of faith in our defense. I know you say you have a grown faith, but I'm not really sold yet. Especially if Neighbors plays, I really will be. I really will be. I will. I really. That's when I really have some, some doubt and some fear. But we should win this game. It shouldn't be. This shouldn't even be. This should be an easy win. But I mean, the Giants' defense is nice. They got some life at running the ball. Daniel Jones is so, but
For sure.
I mean, me personally, outside of the Green Bay game and 3 quarters against Atlanta, what have we put on tape that shows us to be a really good team?
I mean, I go off of the talent, and I watch a lot of what these players are saying. For me,
go. I mean, I hear you say you go off the talent, but think about this: we
off
had
the
a
talent,
team.
we was missing AJ the first game.
Oh,
We
you're talking
missed
about
Lane.
in that aspect. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
we was missing a lot of talent. Our
But
grade A talent.
but Goddard's hurt. And who else just got hurt last game?
Gotta hurt,
Goddard.
and Jordan Mailata, our left tackle, is hurt. He's gonna be gone for a couple weeks now.
So I mean that's not major.
For me, no. We have Jeff Stoutland. Jeff Stoutland is probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, offensive line coach in the league. We also been training up the young guy, Fred Johnson. Fred Johnson is pretty much coming on his team to be a beast. And then we still have a backup plan, which is Mekhi Becton, who was
I was about to
drafted to be
say
a first
he's our
to
left
be a
guard.
to no, he's our right guard. But he was drafted, he was drafted for the Jets to be a top left tackle in this league. He based on injury, he that ended up messing up for him. But I'm not really worried about that, to be honest. We have a worse record losing without Lane Johnson than we do Jordan Mailata, right? We're something crazy like when Lane Johnson doesn't play, the Eagles are like 3 and like 15 or something like that. So when Lane Johnson doesn't play, yes, I'm absolutely scared because statistics say we don't win without Lane Johnson. But Jordan Mailata, because of the vets and because of I like the young guy Fred Johnson, um, I think I'm okay. I'm not really scared. And then Grant Calcaterra last week and for the last couple of weeks has been showing like he's growing as a player. At first
I'm not
I was
I'm not
scared
a
as
fan
that
of him.
that second tight end role, but I'm starting to like Grant.
I'm not a fan of him. He's very bland. Uh yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I would definitely like us to this year in the draft to really improve that position.
I mean, of course, but as of right now, Grant Calcaterra definitely can do what needs to be done as far as in like the passing game. He's even stepped up as a blocker. And then we still got Jack Stoll, which sucks because Grant Calcaterra is a great passing tight end, and Jack Stoll is a great blocking tight end. If they could just be one person, we would have two great tight ends. But so I mean, it just sucks that we have to if teams really watch strategy, but that's why you got to make all teammates versatile. Because if we got to switch out fucking Grant for Jack Stoll on passing and running plays, teams gonna catch on to that. So I mean, I like how Grant Calcaterra is kind of growing, but we do need to address that in the offseason.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah,
Oh,
I
but
mean, I definitely think we should be able to handle this. I don't think the Giants got anything perimeter wise that should really expose what we do. I think what we got going on is mainly making sure Dexter Lawrence doesn't wreck a game. Let's get two bodies
for
on
sure,
him if possible,
for sure,
especially if he's lined up over the center. Let's get two bodies on him.
for sure,
Uh, give
for sure.
Saquon the ball. Let's get some
Oh,
more
they're
pitches.
definitely giving Saquon the ball.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
any week.
Yeah. No,
They're giving
yeah.
Saquon the ball this week.
Yeah.
They're going
Yeah.
full speed to shut out Saquon this week.
Yeah. But let's get some more like some pitches, some pull blocks. You get what I'm saying? Get him out in space, some screens. Let's try to get him more in space because when he gets in space or gets
Hmm.
to the next level, that's when he becomes special. Like just like Derrick Henry. When Derrick Henry gets to the second level, I mean that's when he becomes special. I think Saquon's the same type of person. You
Facts.
just got to get him. He had you have to give him a clean gap to get to the second level. Once he
Yeah.
gets to the second level, I mean, 50 yards is almost guaranteed for him.
Nah,
So,
definitely. Definitely he's a breakout artist. So for me, for the Giants game, just also another thing that I didn't bring up about the about the Browns game. This game was also the first week that my man Cooper DeJean, the rookie we got in the second round this year, all around player. He started his first game over Avonte Maddox. We benched him on Avonte Maddox for him, and let me just say he did a way better job in the nickel than Avonte Maddox. Like so many times this year and last year was Avonte Maddox getting blew the fuck up, missed coverage, getting torched. And I'm just so glad to not see that. Now, the Browns are not like a true testament of that. Don't get me twisted, right? But it just looks different with him on the defense than Avonte Maddox. So I'm very excited because I feel like this is a little test. Now, there's only Malik Neighbors. And to be honest, with Darius Slay hurt, I kind of like Keely Ringo or my man Isaiah Rogers coming in. And one thing I hate about Darius Slay, but I love Darius Slay, is Darius Slay don't want to tackle for shit. Darius Slay do not want to tackle. And when you put Keely Ringo in, who came in the game and immediately knocked the guy out, that's what we need to see from our corners, man. That's what's going to impose fear. So this week, I definitely want to see our corners. Like, I want to see Quinyon Mitchell check Malik Neighbors all game. Like, all game.
Is Malik playing?
I think Malik is playing this week. Malik is coming back this week. Malik is definitely coming back this week, I think. If I'm not mistaken, my boy practiced. Even though I like him, young boy nice.
I'm about to cry. He is not on the injury report at all.
Yeah, he's not on the injury report, so he definitely playing this week. So I like that matchup between him and Quinyon Mitchell. So I think let the dogs fight. Other than that, nothing.
We know who got the bigger dog.
Nothing about the Giants offense other than Malik Neighbors scares me. Their defense though, that front seven, I ain't even gonna say the front seven, the front four, damn near Super Bowl ready. But that back is not as good as everybody think they are. I don't like their safeties. I think their safeties is super sweet. A guy like AJ Brown is gonna give Tay Banks, even though he's from Edgewood, shout out to Edgewood, he's gonna give you a long day. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. He gives everybody a long day.
I ultimately, I would like us to double Neighbors this week.
Double them? I mean, that's all they got. So, I mean, this is the game. Well, I ain't gonna lie. Darius Slayton kind of got off one game, but they got to depend on that. I'm cool.
I don't care about him being one-on-one. I would like to see Ringo and somebody else doubling Neighbors. And keep Quinyon Mitchell on Slayton.
Quinyon gotta check. Quinyon gotta check.
Nah, if you double, you want to live with the one-on-one with somebody that's very. If we had Slay, I would have that opinion, but we definitely got to double Neighbors.
I think Isaiah Rogers is all right to me, and I like Keely, bro. It's something about Keely Ringo that I truly like, and I don't know what it is.
Maybe like his name, I don't know.
Like his name.
Because I don't know what else is to like about him. I wasn't impressed with him last year, but he definitely had a decent game. But to me, but to me, a decent game is not the Cleveland Browns. Like, I am not taking nothing noteworthy. I mean, Dallas Cowboys look like a Super Bowl team against the Browns.
Well, it was only 33-17.
Bro, but
that's not a lot of points.
Bro, it was 27 to like 3 or 6 early. Like, they was fucking, excuse my language. They was beating up on them. You go back and watch that game and the way Dallas played in that first half, you thought Dallas was a top team in the NFL. You got to go back and watch that game. Because I watched that game, and that's a game I watched from like beginning to end. I was very impressed with Dallas. And then come on week 2, New Orleans did whatever they wanted to them. So,
I mean, that was no. They played the Cowboys 33-17. They beat the Jaguars 18-13. The Giants beat them 21-15. The Raiders beat them 20-16. The Commanders beat them 34-13, and we beat them 20-16. I mean, other than really, I would say the Commanders, and I mean, I guess you gotta throw the Cowboys. They was really in every game.
Bro, they ain't outside of them two teams. Who have they really played?
I'm just saying. They ain't like they was getting blown. They weren't getting really blown out. Besides that Commanders game, for sure.
Don't look at the scoreboard. Go watch them play. They are horrendous.
No, for sure.
They are horrendous to watch.
I ain't gonna say they horrendous. I'm gonna just say, Mr. No longer getting massages is horrendous. He's trash.
I just think with him, it's just a disconnect between him and the coach. They're not on the same page. I don't think he's washed. I just don't think they're on the same page. And that offensive line is trash. I don't think he's washed. I don't think he's washed, bro. It was a story out there that Houston, when he was in Houston, he was running the same offense that he ran in Clemson. He's running this West Coast offense, and that's the disconnect, they say. But who am I to say? I'm just saying I'm not sold that he's washed. I just don't think him and that coach work out, or that system that he's playing out of.
I think,
Something's not digesting. Something is definitely not digesting.
man, they trading ship over there. I'm trying to get Miles Garrett. So
Yeah, they
let's get
definitely.
we'll get
I
into the power rankings and shit there, my boy.
Yeah, we want to start out with where do we usually start off? Power rankings or players of the week?
I thought we started with power rankings.
We can start with power rankings. This week, my honorable mention
Yes, sir.
it's the Chicago Bears.
Hmm.
They would have made the list if this number team didn't lose and make a major trade in the NFL this week, where I think really makes a lot of noise for this team. And now I think this guy's gonna be back in the race for MVP.
Hmm.
So at number 10, I have the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
I have the
I'm
Buffalo Bills at number 10.
I'm mad at your pick. I put Tampa at my number 10.
Yeah. You say you mad at my pick?
I said I'm not mad at your pick, but I
Oh,
put Tampa at my number 10.
that's not bad. At number 9, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield has been playing good all this year. He leads the NFL in touchdowns thrown. Baker Mayfield threw 3 interceptions last week, which is why we'll talk about him later in MVP discussions.
Okay.
What's your number 9?
My number 9 is the Packers, man. Like I said, I like the Packers. I just needed Jordan Love to get a little more in, and I like the game that he had this week too.
I think they're a little too low, but I don't they're on your list. That's the starting point. Number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, all they're doing is just winning games. So even though they played the Carolina Panthers last week, you
Mhm.
can't be too high on. But like I said, they're just winning games, and I'm impressed by that feat alone.
I put the Buffalo Bills at my number 18, specifically because of Amari Cooper.
Okay. I mean, ultimately, that's not bad at all. I mean, like I told you, I had planned on putting Chicago on my list because I thought the Jets was going to beat Buffalo, but I felt if Buffalo won that game, they deserved to stay on the list. But it was without a question once Amari Cooper got in town that they are a better team than the Chicago Bears.
For sure.
Uh, at number 7, I have the Washington Commanders. They lost a big game this week, even though the game was not as close as the score said it was. The Washington Commanders played their ass off, and Jaden Daniels was amazing. I mean, he was throwing the ball before people were open,
Yeah.
and I was very impressed with him. Washington got him a quarterback, and all we can do is pray for our division.
We'll be at 7. I put
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta at my number 7. I think they
Not
playing
bad.
good football right now, so I gave them the number 7.
Not a bad pick. My number 6 is the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they're a hell of a team. This week they may go up higher, they may go lower, but the Green Bay Packers have been
I think they a
rolling
little too
people.
high though.
You think they're a little too high?
A little
Why?
too high. Number 6.
Why? Who have they lost to? They lost to Minnesota and lost to the Philadelphia Eagles week 1 when Philly was healthy.
What they
So
lost Minnesota the week when they just came back, right? When Jordan Love just came back, right?
Jordan Love first week back. Yes. So
I
I
mean, I
would
don't take that big hit on
and
them,
they
but
and
I just ain't gonna put them
and
right there just yet.
and Jordan Love almost came back and won that game.
That's for sure.
So I think the Packers are one of the best teams in the NFL, and I think come playoff time, depending on their position in standings, I clearly can see Green Bay running the table and going to the Super Bowl.
Ooh. Okay. Wait, where we at? 6.
Yeah,
Number 6. I got Washington at number 6. I mean,
not not
they
bad.
lost to the Ravens, but I still like that team right now. They're playing good football, and they didn't crumble to the Ravens. Like they still stood tall, so I gotta respect that.
Okay, we're at number 5, right? Number
Yeah,
5,
number
I have
five.
the Houston Texans, who just win. Not really an impressive win, but a dominant win over the Patriots. And I mean, why I mean not impressive is it was just a bad foe. So I don't take much stake. Only thing I congratulate is when good teams beat up on bad teams.
Okay, that's actually my number 5 too. Is Houston. Houston with my number 5. I mean, they really don't got no sustainable wins for me yet.
I'm with you on that. At number 4, I have the Detroit Lions, who just dogged walk the Cowboys. But I'm gonna say it again. What I have seen so far this year, any team that has any type of running game and any sense of like getting up on Dallas and getting ahead, they're gonna blow Dallas out.
Hmm.
So that's
Uh,
just what it is.
I had a rough time between my 3 and my 4 because I didn't know which way I wanted to go with it. But after they beat up on that win, I didn't want to put them at 3. I mean, I didn't want to put them at 4. So I put the Baltimore Ravens at number 4. Good win
Really?
against the Commanders. I mean, what can I say? Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens are on fire right now.
I mean, that's a lot higher than you had them last week. So
Yeah, I think I got him a couple spots. I think I had him at 5 or 6, somewhere
I
between
think
5 and
you
6
had
last
them
week.
outside.
Somewhere.
You had them outside your top 5, but that's. I mean, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that because that Detroit win was so dominant. You know what I mean? Like, what can you say?
For sure.
My number 3 is obviously y'all know Baltimore Ravens. They can't go for the top 2 teams because of the losses. But right now, I think they're playing the best football in the NFL outside of Green Bay and Detroit. But the Ravens have what? What is how many? What is it? 4 impressive wins in a row, right?
Who, the Ravens?
Yeah, they beat Buffalo.
They
Well,
beat Buffalo.
I don't think the Dallas one is impressive anymore.
I
Uh,
bet. I've been told you.
Yeah, that's not as
That's
impressive
not
anymore.
impressive.
It's just a quality quarterback that they beat, but I don't think they can win as impressive anymore. The Cincinnati Bengals, I think, is an impressive win, and the Jaden
That's
Daniels win
that's
is an
well. That's always
impressive
going to
win.
be an impressive win because that's a division game. So any division game for me is an impressive one.
Yeah, but I'm off Dallas being because my whole argument with them was they had 4 impressive wins in a row, dominantly against good quarterbacks. But Dallas is no longer a quality win in my opinion.
For sure. Where we at? 3, 2.
Number 3.
We
Oh,
at 3.
we
I put the Detroit Lions. I mean, you can't argue beating Dallas 47-9 on Jerry Jones' birthday. So just because they beat Dallas like that on Jerry Jones' birthday, I'm gonna give y'all a fucking clap. Let's go Lions. He was mad as shit on that radio. He said, "Listen, I tell you what, I found somebody else to ask these questions."
uh, and then at number 2, I still have the same number 2. Both these teams were on the bye, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. They have probably beaten the most quiet. They have beaten a lot of quality teams. They've been ugly, but they found a way to play games. And like
Right.
we all said, Mahomes is not having his best season. So my thing is, I mean, to be honest, his last game he was actually really good to me. People said he didn't play good. I don't know what they seen outside of the interception when it went off Juju hands. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Mahomes is about to go on a run. I'm
Yeah.
just talking about as the player that we know him to be with the clean games and the big
For sure.
time and the breathtaking moments.
For sure. I put Minnesota my number 2. Like you said, they didn't play this week, so I mean, I'm not gonna take them off of there. Can't fault you for that. So keeping them at my number 2.
At number 1, I have the Minnesota Vikings,
Hmm.
which I think will be the first undefeated team left to get beaten. I see them getting beat this week.
Who they
I,
play this week?
Detroit.
Oh yeah, I
I
see
see
them
them.
losing.
I see them losing uh by means of because both these teams have good defenses. I see them losing because quarterback play. Even though everybody knows I am a really big Sam Darnold fan. I always thought Sam Darnold was better than what people tried the reputation that he had.
Hmm.
I just think when you're a quarterback and you go to a shit show of an organization, It's just hard to get past that. Only the really special ones can get past that. And like Cam Newton hid so many problems with Carolina for so long till his body broke down.
Right.
So but Minnesota's my number one. I think they have a lot of quality wins this year. I mean, they blew Houston out. People don't talk about it, but they blew Houston out. So I'm big on Minnesota. That's why they're my number one. Off that win alone is really why they're number one over Kansas City. Even though Kansas City beat Baltimore, I think it was week one, and I think Kansas City just has a mental edge over Baltimore right now.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on that.
Okay. And I took the Chiefs. I mean, it's Patty Mahomes. I'm gonna take Patty Mahomes. I think out of the two remaining teams, they are going to stay undefeated the longest. I really don't see them losing. For some reason,
Do you know who they play this week?
they play the 49ers this week.
Yeah.
Even though it's Super Bowl rematch, they about to get rematched that ass. Patty coming off a bye week. You don't want them problems, if you asking me. I wish they would have got I do and I don't wish they would have got a receiver, because it's like, I don't want Patty in the Super Bowl again. I don't.
Because if they would have got one of them two receivers, it would have been over. Devontae Adams said something funny this week today. Did you see in the presser when they tried to ask him, did he ask to go to Kansas City? Was Kansas City one of the teams? He said no. And he says, I'm not going to get into why. I'm not going to give y'all a story.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was a Raider, so that could have a lot to do why he doesn't want to go to Kansas City.
That's true too. Well, that's probably why they didn't want to trade that nigga to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Like, we already got to play y'all twice. Y'all not going.
Yeah, but also it probably was a love-hate thing going on. When you play it against a division team,
Facts. For sure.
It's kind of hard to want to get traded somewhere.
Facts. And out of Kansas City game, Kansas City games, I really don't see them losing until maybe, I don't know why I feel like they can randomly lose to the Chargers or the Texans. But other than that, I don't really see them losing. And
Buffalo's on the schedule.
Yeah,
Buffalo's on the schedule.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Well, that's the three games that I think they can possibly lose.
But they could possibly lose this week. Buffalo.
I don't think they're gonna lose this week. But I mean, they could lose any week. But I'm just saying, that's just my prediction.
You know a team that might sneak a win on them again 2 years in a row? Denver.
Division game.
Denver beat them last year. Pretty bad too. Dominated.
Division game, man.
Sean Payton.
That too.
All right, let's get on with our defensive player of the year list. This week I have a new person on my list. Even though this person still, I think, had a sack that game, still had a pretty good game, but I'm going to remove him from the list because he's done for the season. There's no way he's winning an award. So my number 5 is Will Anderson Jr. with 19 tackles, 5.5 sacks from the Houston Texans.
My list kind of fell because it just hurts me so bad that my man Aiden Hutchinson got hurt. DJ Reed got hurt in that Jets game the other night. Shit. So I had to take both of them off my list because they hurt. I don't know how long DJ Reed gonna be gone, but I know Aiden Hutchinson gonna be gone probably for the rest of the year. So my number 5 is Xavier McKinney still, If I'm not mistaken, he's still leading the league in interceptions, but I gotta double check.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my number 4 is Dexter Lawrence. Just a man amongst boys, 19 tackles, 7 sacks.
For sure. My number 4 is Max Crosby. Max Crosby, man, playing great football. He trying to get out of there, though, so hopefully we'll see what's going to happen with that.
My number 3 is Max Crosby with 20 tackles, 5.5 sacks.
Yes, sir, skis. My number 3 is Dexter Lawrence. I mean, I ain't going to lie, yo. Dexter Lawrence is single-handedly like turning the Giants up right now, bro.
Yeah, I agree. My number 2, his is more based on impact. Maybe he should have dropped because they want to buy, But I just feel like when he's been on the field, he's been the best defensive player in the world. And that's Chris Jones,
Chris
11
Jones.
tackles, 3.5 sacks.
Yeah, I'm copied you because I got Chris Jones number 2, man. Chris Jones been balling, bro. He's really made Kansas City defense a problem.
Yeah, he's the head of it. And I guess we share number 1, TJ Watt, 25
Yeah,
tackles, 4.5 sacks.
yeah. T.J. Watt, without a doubt, he's about to he's about to run away with this shit.
Yeah, he's definitely about to get his second. All right, offensive player of the year. I got Saquon Barkley, 482 yards, 4 TDs, 14 catches, 92 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Yep, same with me. Saquon Barkley.
Bad game last week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 4 is just because he didn't play last week. He probably would have been still up high in the same place, but he didn't play. So Justin Jefferson, 26 catches, 450 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
That's a new person on my list. I don't think nobody really talking about him, but Jordan Mason, the running back that's taking place for the 49ers right now,
Yeah.
he's been balling. He's actually second. He's second in rushing right now with a 609 yards. Got 3 touchdowns on the year. I mean, bro been balling since Christian McCaffrey ain't been there, and we don't know when Christian McCaffrey coming back. So I mean, that gives them a little light and a little hope at the running back position.
My number 3 has been Mr. Consistent, the number 1 player in fantasy football this year in PPR leagues. With 428 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns, 28 catches, 230 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. Alvin Kamara.
I'm not mad at. I don't know why. See, we did this, and I should have put Alvin Kamara on my list. I'm bugging. But I put Justin Jefferson in my list. I mean, he was in my list last week. He was number 2 on my list. I mean, I can't fault him for not playing this week. So he's gonna stay my number 2.
Okay, I mean, you. So basically, what you did is you took Jordan Mason and knocked Kamara out.
Yeah.
I mean, but Jordan Mason's been consistent.
To be honest, I didn't put Kamara in my shit last week, and I forgot to put him in last week, and that's why I fucked up at last week. But whatever.
Okay. This next guy is 34 catches, 560 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's just a big play machine. Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. I'm surprised you ain't say this name. I'm about to say. We said number 1, right?
Number 2.
Oh, we on number 2.
Yeah.
Wait, where the fuck am I at? Oh, all right, yeah, there. Okay. Wait, I didn't put them in order. That's why I fucked myself up at. All right, so my number 2 is I'm gonna take Jamar Chase.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Jamar Chase in my number 2.
Well, we all know whose number 1 is, and he's an honorable mention for MVP. 2 more weeks of what he's been doing. He's definitely he's gonna crack my MVP board. I just believe you can't, as a skill position player, you have to have a record-setting year as a player to win this award. So Derrick Henry was 708 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns, 6 catches, 49 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. But what I mean by that is, like, no 40s. Like, he's already had a 40-yard game in another game. He has to keep following these up with 100-yard games to get to that point. And that's what I'm talking about.
Facts. I mean, number 1, I mean, it's gonna only be Derrick Henry. I mean,
yeah,
bro's been balling this year. I mean, he's right now on the verge of cracking that 2,000 rushing yard mark. That's why I personally got him in my MVP conversation right now because of that. I mean, if you ask me, Lamar playing great football, but I feel like Derrick Henry is kind of that difference maker on that team right now because whenever they've been down or they just needed him, 40, 75-yard rush. What the hell? That nigga come out of nowhere. So he's definitely in my MVP conversation. He's my offensive player of the year conversation. Derrick Henry for sure.
All right. My honorable mentions this year, I got 3 people in my honorable mention. The first guy, I could not put him in my list because he had 3 interceptions last week. And you know how big I am about turnovers. He does lead the league in touchdowns, but I didn't have him on my list yet. And then he had 3 interceptions. And that's Baker Mayfield. Clean game. He has a big, nice opportunity this week to crack the list because he plays a quality opponent. And I really will give that some notice. Derrick Henry, honorable mention. And Kirk Cousins is an honorable mention with 1,500 yards, 1,598, and 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. But my number 5 goes to a guy that didn't play last week, was on a bye, has the number 1 team in the NFC, 111 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 61 rush yards. Sam Darnold sits at number 5 for me.
For sure. I ain't gonna lie, we copied each other this week because I also had Sam Darnold on my number 5. Yeah, man. I mean, he right now he's the difference maker over there.
At number 4, I have another guy that's just blew the Dallas Cowboys out at primetime football at 4 o'clock. He made 4 o'clock football unwatchable. Like I turned on Tulsa King. Like I turned it off. I was done. I was done by the second quarter. I was done. With 1,330 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 picks, 21 rush yards. Jared Goff is rolling.
Jared Goff probably my honorable mention. I would put Jared Goff at my number 6. My number 4, man. I mean, my list really didn't change too much from last week. So my number 4 is Lamar Jackson. I mean, great win this week. Y'all already know he's in my MVP conversation, but he's probably not in my top because I just feel like it's gonna be super hard for him to get that third MVP. But if they keep on winning, shit, anything can happen.
Okay, my number 3 is the Rookie of the Year. 1,404 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 322 yards rushing, 4 TDs, and an impressive loss. I give a lot of credit for the way he was out there playing. Playmaking was unbelievable. Throwing ball before people even get the spots. I mean, he threw the ball in the spot in the back of the end zone when nobody could be but the receiver, and the receiver wasn't even there yet, bro. It was unbelievable. Jaden Daniels.
Playing amazing this year, man. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. He would have made my list if he was in my list. Only reason why he's not in my list no more, I feel like for a rookie, for you to win MVP, somehow you just got to figure out how to win the games you ain't supposed to win. But playing great football, can't argue that shit. But number 3, I put CJ Stroud, man. I mean, CJ Stroud over there playing great games. They ain't played no games with no mustard, no ketchup, and no relish on it yet, but it's coming.
I'm not gonna lie. You got that boy pretty high on your list.
Who, CJ?
No, somebody else. No, and number 2, this guy he just said 1,577 yards, 10 TDs, 4 interceptions, 75 rush yards. CJ Stroud. He's just winning games week in and week out.
I ain't gonna lie. The only non-quarterback on my list, Derrick Henry, bro. Like I said, bro, for me, from watching the Ravens game, I feel like, yes, Lamar is playing amazing football, but Derrick Henry is a difference maker on that Ravens team. Like, to be honest, they played Kansas City early in the season. I don't know if Kansas City want to see them in the playoffs. I'm gonna just be honest.
I agree with you. My number 1 is, we call him the eraser. I mean, he just represents Baltimore perfectly. When you look at somebody, he just fits the image, man. And everybody know for week in and week out, just arguing with people about this guy. Lamar Jackson's the man. I mean, not alone is he running the ball this year. He has 1,500 passing yards already with 10 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. 400 rushing yards with 2 TDs on the ground. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. I mean, you look at 2 players, they already got 1,100 yards out of 2 players. 1,100 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns between him and Derrick Henry is crazy already. And we're only, 6 games in?
For sure.
This is crazy. But Lamar is my MVP so far. Like I said, Derrick Henry, is he an important piece to the Ravens? Absolutely. I mean, he's the best running back Lamar's played with in the NFL. But this week, Derrick Henry ran wild on Washington. But if you pay attention, Washington was loading their box up, and they told Lamar Jackson, "You come beat us." They were blitzing the hell out of him, and when I'm telling you, he made every play from a quarterback like he was out there that deciphering their defense. I mean, they got audio from the field. Lamar said, "Got him," and threw a slant play, threw a ball to Rashad Bateman that went for 25 yards. I mean, the boys out here balling.
For sure. I'm not mad at the Lamar pick. Y'all know, I just, if he win it, he win it. I just don't see the NFL giving it to him. But for me, my number one is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, like I said, Patrick Mahomes playing a terrible year. But let's say they only will lose 3 games this year. They go 14-3. I think the NFL is just going to give him the fucking MVP. Even if he throw 15 interceptions.
You want to know something funny? You know he has the highest odds to win the MVP.
And I was literally going to go there. That right now he literally has the highest betting odds to win the MVP.
That is crazy. That's crazy. I think Lamar's second.
He got Lamar's like what, second 1,200 passing yards, which is like 16th in the NFL. He got six touchdowns, 19th in the NFL, and then he got 6 interceptions, which is like 3rd or 2nd in the NFL. That is crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy work. I would say. But this week we got so many interesting games. I mean, our lists are going to definitely shake up this week. I mean, you got a solid game in Atlanta versus Seattle. Seattle could knock Atlanta off. You got the Chiefs and 49ers. A lot could happen right there. I mean, 49ers season, they're going to win their division, but I mean, that makes it tough for them. They get down to 4 losses. You go down to Ravens and Buccaneers. That's a tough Monday night game. Looking back now, the Chargers and the Cardinals is, I mean, Arizona come out play a good game, they come out play a bad game. I mean, Arizona win this game. They're very much in control of their own destiny. You got Nick Chubb returning for the Browns. Does that make a difference against the Bengals? You got the Vikings and the Lions this week. You got the Packers and the Texans.
Great game.
Yeah, I mean, then you got the Jets and the Steelers. Like, yo, it's a lot of good football on this weekend. But to me, the biggest games on TV this week is Green Bay, the Texans, Vikings and the Lions, and the Ravens and Tampa Bay. And Chiefs and 49ers, I almost missed that one. They're 4 good games. They're going to have us really talking next week because who's going to make their mark? Who's going to pull away? Because, I mean, Green Bay, Minnesota already dog-walked the Texans. If Green Bay dog-walks the Texans, we're just going to give it up and say any team in the NFC North can win a Super Bowl. Any of them, and that includes Chicago. Chicago has been playing great football, and their defense is suffocating. And Caleb Williams has only gotten better each week. I mean, think about this. I'm going to ask you
who they playing though.
I'm going to ask you a question. If you had to close your eyes and you told me your receiver was Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and a Doomsday. You would and say Jalen Hurts was your quarterback, you would say you have a chance to beat any team in the league with a top 10 defense. Take the rookie quarterback out of the situation. With the defense and them 3 perimeter weapons, you would say you have a chance to beat any team. And Cole Kmet at tight end, you would say you have a chance to beat anybody in the league.
That's true.
But I will say this: I looked at their record. I only see them at getting to 8 to maybe 9 wins. They haven't played a division game yet, so that means they have 6 division games left.
Well, they haven't played a good team outside of the Texans.
You said they haven't.
I mean, the Colts are okay, like they're a middle of the pack team, but they haven't really played like any good teams outside of the Texans. I mean, they played the Titans, the Texans, the Colts, the Rams, the Panthers, and they just beat the Jaguars. I mean,
but it's just a beatdown on the Jaguars. I watched them. I was impressed. With them. But if Green Bay smacks up Texans, I mean, we got to have a different conversation about the Texans. Maybe drop CJ Stroud on the MVP board. Move Green Bay up on the power rankings. The 49ers win this week. They're back in the top 10. So that's what I'm saying. Like this week, it's a lot of shuffling around that's going on. I mean, then you got Detroit and Minnesota. If Detroit beats Minnesota, I mean, what? They're number 2 team in the league?
For sure. For sure.
I mean, then think about
think
this.
they can be.
Think about this. Like you go to my list where I got Baltimore to number 3, right? Then I got Detroit number 4. If Tampa Bay beats Baltimore, don't Tampa Bay need to be in the top 3? Because they beat Detroit. You got two wins in my top 5.
I would put them in. I would put it somewhere between 1 and 6.
But you have 2 wins over top 5 teams in my thing.
But they
you got a bad
lost.
loss. They lost to Denver and they lost to who else?
Who the fuck did Tampa Bay lose to?
Atlanta.
Top
10 team. Top 10
division
team.
Again.
And Denver win last week. I potentially is replacing Dallas with Denver.
Facts.
Because I was getting some faith into Denver. You get what I'm saying? With the win over, but they lost to the Chargers. Not badly, but they lost. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when I look,
this is a good week of football right here. Like, this gonna tell a lot and shape a lot for especially for our listeners and stuff coming forward.
Yeah.
And then ain't gonna lie to you, depending on how dominant if the Eagles went dominant, they might come into my top 10. If they don't, they gonna stay at number like 13, 14 for me.
I
might even got them like 12 right now. I might got them at 12.
Next week, week 8. If we win this week, Eagles still don't crack my top 10. It's week 8 against the Bengals. What gets me because I blindly go to sleep and say we should win, even though I can tell you right now, I took us plus 6.5 this week. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think we're gonna win, but you know, I just don't trust us right now. But the Bengals is the game that I got marked on the schedule and say, all right, I trust us.
Even though, I mean, Bengals playing good football, they just losing them. They just got on the bad side of losing these games. But yeah, I guess you could say that Joe Burrow's a good quarterback. So yeah, I guess you could say that if we're gonna test it based off the quarterback. But
yeah,
to be honest, I'm only saying that for based off if we blow the Giants out. I mean, if it's a dominant looking win,
it still doesn't.
To me, I might put.
I mean, for you that's cool, but it doesn't move the needle to me because when you mark up roster to roster, the Eagles have arguably the best roster in football. So
right,
you're supposed to blow the Giants.
They have yet to show it. So
they showed,
to be honest, off talent, they should be in the top
10. That's a lie. It showed against the Green Bay Packers. But if we blow the Giants out, it just shows us how important AJ Brown is to the Eagles.
No, for sure.
Which we have a losing record without. So
him and my man.
At this point,
for sure.
Everybody's for sale except AJ, in my opinion.
Nah.
What I'm saying is, like, to me, he's our most valuable player.
That's for sure.
With Kelsey in the locker room, he's our most valuable player.
That's for sure. I agree with that. To be honest, he's our best player on our team.
Yeah, I thought it was Saquon. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was. I think very highly of Saquon, but I'm gonna say something that I would never want Saquon to hear. He just comes from. He's been losing too long. Yeah. Doesn't know how to win.
Not yet.
No,
we can't. For sure. And this is a super young team. You need vets that know how to win.
And AJ Brown has done nothing but win since he's been in the NFL. So,
for sure.
Yeah,
man. So I mean, you got anything else before we get out of here, brother?
Nah.
Man, so look, man, we'll be back next Thursday, same time, 7:00. Man, we've been giving y'all these 2-hour episodes. It feel good to get out of here a little early tonight, man, get in the shower. So, man, y'all know what to do, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the YouTube, Instagram, whatever platform y'all can find us on. We on M-PULSIVE TV on YouTube, man, and we out. See y'all next time, man. Close it.